All right, I think we are live, and yes, we are. I almost had to watch to see that hesitant light. But right, good evening. This is Dante Sanders down here in Jacksonville, Florida, of Overcoming the Odds, and we're gonna just get right into it. As far as could relationship building help take your business far, and we're gonna go really all over the place for this topic because it doesn't really matter if you're in business or outside of business or you promote anything online or offline. It's something that, to be honest with you, we should have probably followed this after talking about rapport probably a few weeks ago. But and obviously there's a big difference between rapport and relationships. It's a huge difference, a big difference. But before we got any further ado, let's take it back and welcome back, Patricia.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be back. I've been missing in action for a couple of weeks. I went on vacation last week, and for some reason, I could not get on with my cell phone. I guess I should have gotten on because I took my computer with me, and I have a hotspot, and it just, I just was trying to get on with my phone, and somebody is talking about relationship building. That's one good thing about building relationships, because you can't know everything in the world, and I'm not a techie person, and I think Andre didn't know how to help me either. So building relationships is important because you're going to meet all kinds of facets of different people who can help you, or you can benefit from what they have to offer, and they can benefit from what you have to offer. So I'm not sure where we're going to take this topic, but it should be fun. Relationship building is key in any business, and it is key in life. So having said that, on this beautiful Friday afternoon here, we're going to take it back to Andre. I live in Southern California, where it's nice and sunny. I think it was 100 something, and I don't know. Andre lives in Florida. Hopefully, it's nice and sunny there too, right, Andre?
Way too much sunny, like over 95 degrees, like humidity well over 95. So yeah, way too much. You see the light just beaming down right here. So anyway, getting back to as far as relationships, with what we mentioned just a few moments ago. Again, big difference between obviously rapport and relationships. Rapport is really responsiveness. That's really what rapport is. And again, we should have followed this a few weeks ago after doing that particular topic. But again, now the relationships is really that rapport. Now just trying to get to know the person. And when it comes to again, if you're trying to build really anything, it doesn't matter if it's online or offline. It's critical. A lot of people that have businesses, that are, small businesses, traditional businesses, they know this, how critical it is to have have to build the relationship. Be more interesting than be more interested than interesting. I'm in the middle of Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and some of the same principles that he's mentioned here, it really does hold true even today, even if it is online. Because just because we might be building businesses online, such as Patricia and I, guess what? We're not just sitting here behind our laptops or our phones or tablets or whatever. We like to just actually connect with people. If I get a friend request as of late too, and I know this is something that Patricia was kind of raving on a few weeks ago, Facebook, as far as when people add you on Facebook. Personally, I like to go and just leave a message with them. I'll just give you just a real quick example. You might be thinking, how does this have to do with relationships? Everything. Perfect example. I'll just go right here, screen sharing. Try to see if I can find somebody here in my messages that I had. Got it. Did my best to say hello, and I'll just go. Bam. Here we go. Here's somebody. How about Vinny? But what's the thing? Let's see. Oh, wait, I just messaged him. Hey, that's good too. Somebody I messaged. But what's the thing I like to do when I first meet somebody right at the rip, as in Medan? I like to shoot a video. Why? Just so they can see who I am. This is a real person. This is not somebody just sit behind a laptop, going to having an autoresponder if you have one, and it's going through it. I like to actually connect with people so they can see who I am. Hey, my face is right there. So, okay, I'm not sitting here hiding behind my laptop. Another example of this, and you got a lot of birthdays. Here we go. There's another one. Wayne did the same thing. to this person here. As you see, this is recent. This is past Monday. So again, I'm not sitting behind the laptop, you know, as far as just like this. You have an email autoresponder just going, you know, just going out. Now I like to actually connect with somebody, and I have, oh, by the way, in my sequence, my email sequence, as far as at me on Facebook. And it's another one too. My point is, I do my best to obviously get the rapport going on, but at the same time build a relationship. Because I mean, for whatever reason, it's interesting how powerful video is. Again, different topic for, you know, for another time. But the thing is, they get a chance just to see who I am. Then when you get a chance to relate who I am, now I want to give out the value. I have a group that I put people into just so they can see what I do. Because my personal profile, you only see bits and pieces of me. But when you're on my fan page, that's business page, and also my group, now you really see me almost like being a fly on the wall as far as me getting to work. A lot of people don't see that, and again, I'm not trying to market to everybody, so I can market to nobody. I'm marketing to only a certain amount of people that are really, really curious. And the people that are curious, all you have to do is go over there to that left side. You're on Facebook, and you know, if you're on your laptop or computer, as far as, okay, you know, see your page setup. Thing is, you know, if you really want to get a chance to know somebody, it's more than just a personal profile, though. You really got to do your own research on somebody. So again, that's what I do as far as just to get that relationship going. Doing that on, obviously, on Facebook, if I send a message, or if it doesn't have to do that, you obviously send out an audio as well, just to get a chance to know somebody. If I don't get a response back, they don't get they don't get the friend request accepted by me, by the way. So I'm trying to see if this is a real person. Now, it's obvious too when going through, you know, the Facebook accounts, if somebody's real or not, or some of these accounts, just, you know, this whatever. I've had a lot of them too. It's like, oh, this here to this, whatever, and they don't really last long. So that don't waste my time. My point is, I'm again trying to just build that relationship. Perfect example. You know, you probably heard the phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know. That's very true. You probably can think of an experience as far as maybe had a chance to get a particular job, maybe invest with somebody because of a relationship you've had in the past. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I got into the network marketing profession because of really somebody that, well, really because of it's kind of weird sequence. Playing semi-pro football, and I still do today. I'll never forget, our head coach at the time told us to go see a chiropractor because of the team chiropractor. Went to go see him, and pretty much the rest was history, because after my appointment with him, talking about the chiropractor, he said, hey, I want to show you something. Rest is history. As far as, you know, network marketing profession. Over time, we build a relationship. I'm talking like I literally helped this guy help move, met his family, or whatever, known him now for the last 7 years. Still have a good, you know, still have a good relationship with him to this day. You see, I don't know how many stories I've heard in this profession that people years, or they're on the email list for years, and then all of a sudden now they decide to go and join them because of this, you know, because of the relationship too. And it's obviously that, you know, they were given value. That's another thing. You gotta get this to give value. You can't just sit back and just, you know, pitch, sell. I mean, obviously people don't want to you know, want to hear all that today. I mean, a lot of people's BS meters are up, and that's true. That's true. Now, the thing is, too, unfortunately, and this is another thing, too, and this is another thing I learned, too, from Eric Worre's book, Rereading That GoPro, is really, when you're in the network marketing profession, a home-based business profession, our job is really to educate. So those people that have been, let's say, amateurs in the profession, just throwing out their company names or whatever on their Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitters, or whatever, Instagram. It's our job to really just help educate more so. I forget, I had a lady message me out of blue, like, I think a week ago, and she did an investigation via Facebook. She's like, yeah, you shoot a lot of videos. And it's funny because it was not on my personal profile. Only thing you're going to see my personal profile is me lifting a lot, working out. We're doing the weightlifting, but she went to my fan page and she saw that I have a lot of videos. Yes, I do. And she had said something, I know her status as far as she was going to shoot her first live video. Still waiting, by the way. I'm not going to give her name out. But the thing is, that's what happens when you just work on that relationship. And that was something I think I added like months ago. And we were just talking. We didn't talk about, you know, business at all. But the thing is, you know, you still got to work on that relationship part after the rapport, even if it's online. I don't want to say it's tricky, But if somebody does subscribe to you online, again, just try to just be human, really. Again, this, again, on top of giving the value, if you're doing something as far as what you do in your everyday life, Patricia, you do this real well as well. People can relate with that, as far as, okay, this is what this person's doing, or, something like I just mentioned a few months ago. I was working out. If I could learn, if I knew how to share that via Instagram, I would. So I was working out this morning. So, people can relate in any type of a way as far as you, because they're more interested as far as probably what you're doing other than this, you try to sell them on something. So that's another key thing too, as well, to keep in mind with that. And I wanted to also get to the relationships also as far as within business as well, because that's really, this is what's important, because I know personally I built the best relationships in business. Got nothing against my teammates, former teammates, high school, college, semi-pro as well. Nothing against people in my CrossFit gym I've gone to the last few years, but some of the best relationships I've built are, have been in business. Whether it be business partners today or in the past, we're not going to settle. That's the main thing I like. That's how you get me interested, as far as that. Okay, you're not somebody who's going to settle. You always want to go for more, and I mean, why not? Why not go for more while we're on this planet? We'll shoot for better and higher. So it's something just to keep in mind with as well. And like I said, I won't go too further on that, because I know, Patricia, you can share some of the insights of that yourself as well, as far as that, building relationships in the past or present, really.
Really. Yeah, well, building relationships are important. They are stepping stones and building blocks to the future, and lifelong relationships. And people might be thinking we're talking about relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, we know that from some business partnerships or events, we've known people to meet and get married from meeting a business partner, or meeting a friend, I should say, and building a relationship at an event. But sometimes too, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how much you've talked about business and where you want to take it. And, you have to see if that person is going to be a good fit for your business in a relationship. But after all, if you are married that person, you're going to be with them 24/7. So you have to make sure that that relationship really works, because just like in a marriage, and eventually if they do get married, they have to see eye to eye. They have to be on the same page. One person makes a bad business deal that aren't even related or married in that sense, they could have a fallout. So that's why building relationships, building trust, building and letting that other person know your goals, your aspirations, and your intentions and everything, you have to lay it all out on the table, so to speak. You don't want any kind of surprises to the process of you both gaining success. In the end, that's the goal, that you want to be successful entrepreneurs. Like myself and Andre, we met at an event, and we met some other business partners too. We're still friends. They're not with us right now, but we're still friends. And who knows, in our course of life, when we may meet up again and all get into another business together, or start a business together, or, we know those people now, so we trust them. And if they came to us and they wanted to offer something, if the opportunity's right, or if I have time or whatever, I could still join them in something that they're doing, right? But that's anyway how Andre and I met, and we collaborated, and we wanted to have do something live that we could do on a business level to help explain our businesses, what we do online. Because let's face it, having an online relationship, now again, we're not talking about meeting somebody for marriage, but online relationships are kind of hard. As Andre said, he sent a video to somebody that messages him, who maybe wants to send him a friend request. I hate it when I get friend requests. I don't know who the people are. I don't know what they're about. And they're sending me a link. Join me now. How can I join you? I don't even know who you are. So it's so important to do a little video. I have one, but I haven't really sent those out lately. I just usually type something, and then if that person responds to that, then I'm inclined to send them a video and say, hi, my name is Patricia. I'm an online internet marketer, and this is what I do. What do you do? And, you know, do that back and forth, whether it's a voice clip or it's a video clip, and see how they respond. Now, of course, if it's another internet marketer, they're going to know exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and and the purpose of why I'm doing that, again, to connect with them. So, and then they may be a brand new person that has no clue of how to, that was me. I have to raise my hand. You know, when I first got on, I had no idea how to do a video, let alone how to upload it and put it online. Well, of course, I know a whole lot more now. That was 5 years ago. But you're going to meet people like that who join you. And legitimately, people don't know how Facebook works. So when we meet these kind of people, we don't want to slough them off. We don't want to be mean to them, or we don't want to bully them because they don't know what they do, what we do. We want to educate. And in educating, you're building a relationship, because now that person is coming to you and they may not be actively, what's the word, communicating with you, but they're stalking you. You know, as you put out things, if you don't answer them back or friend request them right away, I believe it goes to notifications, or it will go for them to follow you. So they're following you. In the meantime, as long as you're posting and you're doing things on an active daily basis, or how often you do, they're going to get your post in the newsfeed. And of course, they're going to see what you're doing. And then they may reach out and touch you, so to speak. Or, you know, of course, we have to give a call to action. If we're doing videos on a daily basis and we make them regular, we'll give a call to action, and they're bound to see it. And we can say, you know, include in the video the links to our Facebook page that they can go. Of course, you know, if they click our name, it goes to our Facebook page. But we give that call to action. A lot of people don't know what to do online. So we educate, we're building relationships, we're giving them directions, and we're building our rapport so that they could see that they're real people. We are real people. We're making real money online, and that it's a possibility that they could do the same thing.
You know, another thing too, and this will help as far as, you know, the relationship process as well, is if, you know, you're somebody who is shooting videos, or maybe you're blogging, or maybe you're doing Facebook ads, or, you know, any type of ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, whatever, you got to choose to be consistent with this. And again, I might be getting off a little off topic, but as far as building relationships, you know, Patricia brought up a good point. Those people that might have tried to add you wherever, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, you keep on posting, be consistent with it, because those people will be watching you to follow you. You might not even get a like, comment, or share. I went through this. I know we had a product launch over a year ago, and we were suggested to have our own Facebook groups for this. So as soon as that launch was over, like within 3 weeks, and I told you, Patricia, I was like, you know, I'm going to just keep on giving that value like crazy, like a madman. And I really got more responses here in the last few months because I stayed consistent with it. And this one thing I noticed, a lot of people that are online, they're all over the place. They'll go do different opportunities. They won't be consistent with the marketing strategy, and wonder why they haven't got any type of results. You know, they really can't stay focused. And you got a primary business, stick with it, and just, you know, learn to master one particular skill. And if anything, choose this to be consistent with it, even if it's if you can consider quote unquote bad action, at least you're learning along the way. Hopefully, that's the main thing, to overcome and learn, tweak some stuff, and this you know, just become better. That's the most important thing, because again, a lot of people are watching. A lot of people are going to be watching what you're doing. My point is, as far as, you know, going back to Facebook, probably, to be honest with you, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, on my fan page, I could not maybe shoot a video by itself and not share without getting any type of responses. Here, just the last couple of weeks, I've been doing this. I just wanted to do an experiment here the last couple of Saturdays. I've done a Facebook Live just on my fan page alone. And it's interesting how many views I've had when I'm like, oh, okay. I think I probably had one like. I know I tell you, but I had one like per each time I've done the live. Now you might be thinking, okay, it's not that much. Okay, that wasn't the point. The point is I wanted just to try something else as far as to see who was watching, because I mean you can tell by the views or whatever. So again, that just confirms what Patricia's point was. She was mentioning as far as that, as far as people are watching. And I didn't know. I think I had like that time I shot a live video this past Saturday. I had like I think it was 8 views live when I was done doing the live, and then obviously you had to replay. I mean, it's still lots of people can see the replays. So I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? So there are people watching. And again, that's a lot of people, oh, by the way, that I have on that page. They're not even friends on Facebook on my personal profile, oh, by the way. So don't know how that works out on Facebook. I'm not too sure. But the thing is, now they get a chance to see how, who I am, who I am. So I mean, again, that's something I'll probably keep on doing. Be consistent with that. I'm already shooting videos literally daily. Patricia knows that I'm shooting video like a madman almost every day. So that's something, again, I just chose to be consistent with. And guess what? All I do is nothing special. You can use this little simple idea as far as if you have an autoresponder, so download it. Even a blog as well. You can shoot the video, post it in the blog, bam, send it to your email. To your email list. Guess what? You still build a relationship as well with them, because now you get to see who you are. And the one thing I've done, I used to go get that particular blog post in my link. Now I just send the actual. It's on public. Oh, by the way, my fan page. So I just send the actual video from that, put in my email sequence as well, so people can see me daily. Some people like, now as far as emails, how many send out per day, it's on you. It really is on you. Depends how big your list is, or how small the list is. The thing is that they know who you are. So if anything, just keep on doing something as far as, giving out some type of value that crazy, and just so, they can see who you are as far as, okay, I got somebody who's keeps on getting in my inbox every time. That's a good thing. I'll never forget, I was at an event here this past January, and somebody I know at an event, he said particularly that he was on this person's list for 2 years. And then for whatever reason, I think he was tired as far as what was going on in his job, decided to go to his junk mail, because he knew it was in his junk mail, by the way, open that email because he knew he was still getting the emails from the guy, and guess what? He joined. and he's been going crazy ever since, as far as working online part-time. So again, you never know what happens, unless you're being consistent and doing your best. Can say doing your best to build a relationship with somebody, even if they're not even liking, commenting, sharing, whatever. Then it's still be there. That's the main thing. You got to be consistent, and it irritates the crap out of me when I see a lot of people that are online and I know they're not being consistent. Like, oh, I got this. If you got some different trainings or something that you're learning, that's great, because now you be consistent with that. But I mean, it comes down to your personal marketing. That's what I'm trying to get the point across as far as that. And a lot of people I know, they rather sit back, complain, whine, or whatever, and it was like, do that on social media. Personally, somebody who's been around the game for a minute, I'm thinking, I'm not going to join you because I don't want to join somebody like that. So, this is, just want to take heed of that, as far as saying, okay, whatever ups and downs, we have good days and bad days. Okay, we're human. But I would watch it as far as being on social media, they're saying whatever, especially as far as any type of business owner. I mean, it kills me too. I don't know, Eric Warren mentioned this about this as well. We see this every time throughout having a presidential campaign the last few years. The same thing. He said he had to go and unfriend 6- and 7-figure earners because he's like, I don't have time for this nonsense here on Facebook. So it's like, what the heck? And it's funny because I was like, I wanted to do something out of the open. I know my personal profile, the only thing you're going to see from me is a whole bunch of quotes. Why? Because I'm actually in the books reading it. So I had gotten done reading Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, which was a 30-year-old book. So I was like, man, let me go see what happens. I can start sharing some quotes or whatever. Mess with people's minds on Facebook. I already knew it was, because they're like, what in the world? And it's like, but the quote was so good. Of course, it's a 30-year-old book that he was talking about his struggles in the 70s up to 87. Oh, by the way. So I mean, it had nothing to do as far as politics. So it kind of really completely messed up people's minds. So that's why I purposely did that. And it's interesting too because he did have a book with another one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Robert Kiyosaki, when they collaborated with Why We Want to Be Rich and Midas Touch. But Why We Want to Be Rich, when they came up with that book in 2006, there was a point Donald Trump mentioned as far as he loved to share quotes because it has direct effect on negative and confused thinking. And especially when it's so much value, it's like, what in the world? So you might even you might like the person, whether it be, a politician, entrepreneur, professional athlete, whatever, but the quote's just so real. It's like, well, yeah, they're successful for a reason. I mean, and they're sharing it for a reason. So, something else too that, again, I chose to be consistent with it. And, you see on Facebook as far as like, oh, on this day, seeing memories and whatever. I've been doing this the last like 4 or 5 years. Since even my previous company before it was shut down, but I wasn't really reading as much as I am today. So it's essentially how far I've come. And it's, if you want to see as far as like how we are too, you have that link below here. It says, yes, let me in. So you can follow Patricia and I as well, because you're going to love what I'm going to be sharing here in the next, it's probably the next month and a half from a book I read from a former business I was a part of as well. I forgot how good the book this was. Paul Overson says something's good is going to happen. Even though he passed away 4 years ago, that was this company that I was a part of as well. I forgot how many nuggets this guy shared. And it's interesting because, Success Leaves Clues, he was a big fan of Art Williams, multi-billionaire himself. Everybody knows about his Just Do It speech. So and it's interesting how that relates because Art Williams former high school football coach, so is Paul Overson.
I wanted to say something about Art Williams. He was an insurance person. And the company I am with, Primerica, I'm an insurance agent too. I don't know if I told you that ever, Andre. But yeah, he was influential in doing that and helping people because he had a vision, like all great leaders have a vision. And so with Art Williams, he's very influential in that field. And with a lot of people too, building relationships is key for me in that field because we have to get to know their why. We have to get to know why they're doing. We know why, as an insurance agent, why they need to have insurance. But we don't want to convince someone, but you want to educate. As long as we educate people on that issue, then we're doing them a service. Because even though they may not see the need for it right away, there's going to sooner or later be a tragedy where they need that insurance. They need life insurance because they say, well, why should I leave it for my family and friends? Well, if you love your family and friends, if you have a relationship with them, or at least your immediate family, you need that. So we educate, and my leader, who is my team leader in that particular company, he does it all the time. He may not get a sale right away, but people are always ringing him later. Not because there's a tragedy, but maybe they hear of somebody that had a tragedy and they realize that maybe they need that, and he gets sales that way as well. Because he's built a pool of people or resource of people that have met him. They had him in his home, in their homes rather. They've talked with them. They may say, no, I can't afford it right now, or I can't do this right now, or whatever. But 99% of the time, because he's had that relationship with them in their home, physically goes to their home, then they're more than likely to trust him, to know, like, and trust him. And it's not to say that haven't met other life insurance agents, that type of thing. But here's somebody that they have invited in their home, and they have his card or they have his telephone number, and they can call him when they need him. So this, for us as online internet marketers, we don't have the opportunity to do that. We can't come into a person's home physically, but on a daily basis, using that consistent, video that we shoot every day at 9 o'clock or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or have an evening call, and make it consistent where people can follow us and join us, get their email and send out the links that they can join us when we're going to be doing a live training or a live call, then we're building that rapport with them, whether they jump on or not. But it's kind of like we've left our calling card, our business card. And like you said, the emails, we may give them the emails again and again and again. And I know I had 3,000 emails the other day when I looked, and I didn't have time to go through them. But you're going to search for this. You're looking for something specifically that you had an experience on before. And you say, I have that person, I have their email, I have their information. Now let me go search for them and find them, But they wouldn't have to search far, because number one, they've got your email and you're emailing on a daily basis. Or number two, you're on Facebook. They may not remember your name, but if you come across their news feed or you do an ad on the side, on the right side of Facebook, they're going to see you. Then they're going to say, aha, that's the person I need to contact. That's the person I need to get in touch with, because what they said a year ago, 6 months ago, or a month ago, now it's making sense to them. And now they want to join you.
Well, it's interesting too, as far as bringing that example, because I had something that happened to like a couple of days ago. I had posted something on Facebook, another quote from what I was reading, and out of the blue, somebody had messaged me. I work with this guy. I've known him for 10 years, even though he switched a different sort of the warehouse at work, and he messaged me as far as the book, How to Influence and Influence People. Now, he said he was in chapter 3. I didn't understand what exactly it meant, because I like the different sections. Like there's like part 1, 2, 3. So I don't know exactly where he is, but he said he was like the movie, right? I mean, not the movie. He liked the book right now that he was in, and I remember posting that on Instagram weeks ago. As far as that, don't know if that helped influence him to get the book. I don't know. That the point is just, I guess, be consistent of that social media platform, as well as any other ones as well. I mean, if you're going to do anything, you might as well go all out. So I'd rather just do stuff I get like a madman, but again, I'm there daily, so people be like, oh, okay, he's a lot of things where you see like on Instagram or from Twitter, you see the me part as far as like get the work on sleeves, how I get after it. And it's interesting because as far as just a lot of stuff, as far as how many to I get just do that as far as get a chance to know people better. Is that's just how it works. Not so much online, but offline, especially as well. Especially building that relationship. And don't know if it will. Don't know what it will do with him, because I'm not so much into the book as far as having it, but also on top of that, applying what's being taught. And I was kind of curious. As many times I heard the book over the last few years and being a home-based business. Here I am finally getting it. I'm like, oh, okay. But if you read other successful people as well, the books like Napoleon Hill, Walter Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, the list goes on and on and on. You'd be like, oh, okay, they're following some of the same principles as what this book is saying. So it's interesting, about this book and how everything is applied even today's times. And even something as simple as you send out an email and get the chances to link with somebody. As far as just trying to see how they're doing. I know, I think, if not mistaken, day 2 of an email sequence, I want to see how I can help them out as far as what type of past somebody has. I have a survey. Might have to update it, but the thing is, I get a chance to see what they're looking for. What you're looking for. Like, you want to build a business online. I think if you want to make a particular income or whatever, or have you been at any previous companies? The thing is, you still, just want to do the best I can to relate with them, because I know the next few to that. Now I'm in there as far as just them getting a chance to relate to who I am, as far as what I like to share or whatever. And like Patricia also mentioned as well, as far as doing something live, would it be a conference call or something like a video conference, or maybe even a Zoom hand, whatever it is, just so they can see who you are. Because again, you don't know who's watching you. As far as like down the road, somebody can be like, you know what, I remember that person. Let me go and go back to this email that they probably sent me, or let me open up this email, the latest email that they sent me, because you stay consistent with it. I have a lot of people I know that, especially on social media, that are in different companies as well. Different companies, online, offline, home-based business companies. I never try to even talk to them about mine or whatever. If they ask me, I tell them, well, the name of the company is I'm a part of. But I mean, at the same time, my mentality is not for you to even join. It never is. It's just trying to get you a chance to know you. Okay, great. And I've had like relationships that lasted for years because of that. Because I mean, I don't care as far as you joining or whatever. But my point is, what I'm trying to mention earlier too, when you're staying consistent with something and you're staying in one particular company, who knows down the road? I'm not wishing something bad like that. But what happens if their company were to shut down? I've been there. I was that person 4 years ago that had the company shut down, and then it's like, okay, where do I go? But because I had a relationship with somebody else, we weren't even. I guess you could say cross-line, because we weren't financially tied. That's how I got into the company that I'm a part of right now. And it was another opportunity I'm a part of as well, because I built a relationship with somebody from 6 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know how far those relationships can last, down the road, as far as to help you out or maybe help somebody else's life out. So that's my point, as far as being consistent with it, and not be all over the place. Because I know the sponsor that I was with, when I first got into this company, she started to get all over the place, and it was like, really? I was like, no, I'm focused here. I'm like, I didn't choose not to follow her, because I knew what I wanted. I wanted to pretty much build myself where I was, and just go with that. I'm not the type of person that's to hop all over the place or whatever. Big type of companies, they always have their problems that happens. So people talking about the downfall in network marketing companies. Oh, I can go all day as far as corporate America companies, because how many times do you see them lay off people or whatever? And, you might be somebody watching who's been a part of that. Unfortunately, it happens all the time. It's going to continue to happen more so because of this thing called what? The internet. Just being real with you. I know our warehouse is about to do a huge upgrade, and they don't see, as far as that long haul, they're not going to be a lot of employees that need to be hands-on, because a lot of stuff is going to be what? Automated. That's the word we're going to. IT, we're in the information age. So, a lot of people don't see that right now. I'm thinking I see the bigger picture as far as big business side, the Kiyosaki mission, this cash flow quadrant, the BNI, and obviously a lot of my coworkers don't see that. It's to be expected. It's a mindset thing. Again, different topic for a different day. But the thing is, that's where I know that company is going, and a lot of people don't see it. It's like, okay, all right, go ahead with that. Go ahead with that mentality. And on top of that, too, as far as what's going on with the stock market, with the stock market, when that goes going plummeting, yeah, all right. On top of the other stocks and bonds and other stuff, I can go on and on, but that's not the point. The thing is, as far as you work on building relationships with somebody who knows, you can probably help them out of that situation before it gets, that's another thing to keep in mind. So we mentioned as far as in the past, some people joining companies or whatever, and thank goodness they did join some type of home-based business company to get them out of a situation that could have been a lot worse. From bankruptcy, welfare, depression, the list goes on and on and on and on. There's a lot of testimonies you can go on that list. But the thing is, you stay consistent, and just stay consistent with building relationships on here as well. Patricia mentioned we met each other a couple years ago, and we've been consistent here since then. For 2 years as well. We've seen a lot of people come and go. And, it happens. So be it. It happens with in business. So just wish them well. Whatever. You don't try to have the type of that feeling. Pretty much all the big successful business owners, they've all been there as far as having past relationships. Fortunately, the scary nightmare stories. They've been stabbed in the back or whatever. It's unfortunate. Or there's some people just choose just to go align with something different. Okay, it happens. It happens all the time. So that's something to just keep in mind with as well, because again, you're building that relationship with somebody down the road. Who knows? You might be able to, not saying get that business partner back, but you might venture on to do something different with each other. Who knows? You never know. So it's something that's also keep in mind with what on top of continue this to have those relationships being built. And Eric Warren brought up this point as well, because watching the video he did a couple of days ago, a lot of the top marketers on the planet, they do that. They work more so on the relationships more so than talking about the comp plan, the company itself. You know, any type of person I'm talking about from the list. I mean, I know a lot of people I've met here online over, you know, really all throughout the world, literally, as far as people, the Philippines, Africa, Canada, all over the place. So that's the thing. It doesn't matter if they're a seven-figure earner or unemployed person. So you just keep on, you know, building up relationship and just being and pretty much under eyesight, being consistent with your marketing. That's another key thing, especially when you're online. I hate first impressions personally, but you know, but when you be consistent with it, you know, that probably will go away over time if somebody resonates with you. You know, again, we can't market everybody, so another thing to keep in mind with. So,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
true, Andre. You can't build a relationship with everybody, but those that you do, you know, you have to treasure them and, you know, make sure that you are building a quality relationship. And I have gone to Google to look up something, and I wouldn't mind sharing that with you when you get it, if it's okay again, because you know, I like to go there to get the right information on building relationships in this particular topic that we're talking about. And there's 4 types of business relationships. So let's explore those and see what they are. Okay, is that okay, Andre?
yeah, go ahead. See if we've already probably listed them or not.
Yes, let's see. Okay, this is taken from a site called Think Bigger. And I just want to say something about that title because Business Media Inc., this is where it's a blog. But I want to say that, first of all, I like that title, Thinking Bigger, because when you're building a relationship with someone, I hate it when people think small. You know, maybe again, it goes back to that fear, false evidence appearing real. And we have so many problems with that. And I know I did. I had to overcome that myself because you have to think bigger. I was just talking to my sister the other day, and I was telling her my goals of what I wanted to make and what I wanted to earn. And she told me, well, you know, Jeannie, I know that you're not, that's my nickname, by the way, because my name is Patricia Jean. So Jeannie is my nickname. But she says, you know, Jeannie, you shouldn't bring up money all the time. You shouldn't mention that, because I was so pumped. You know how it is when we're entrepreneurs, you know, you have people that want to like push you down in your goals. They want to push you down. I love my sister to death. She's a business entrepreneur too. She sells jewelry. But she said, and I thought this was kind of odd, because she said, you shouldn't push that about money a lot. And she said, I know you're not materialistic, Patricia or Jeannie, but you know, you shouldn't make that a big focus. Well, I thought about it and I said, I'm in business. I have to set my parameters high for what I want to make. I don't want to overdo it, because you know, we get a lot of this where we have people who do get online, they join our business, and after 2 days, they're gone. It takes consistency. It takes months to learn certain things. And when you're seeing a leader that posts that they've made $1 million earner online, which we have several of those in our company, or had them in our company, it's like, that's what they made, but you forget the struggles that they've gone through to get there. So first of all, again, we always go back to mindset. If Julianne was here, our other business partner, you know, she knows what we're talking about. She's a big mindset person. If you don't think bigger, if you don't think positive, if you don't have that thinking bigger mentality, then you're not going to win at this game. That's like you want to say you want to open a McDonald's, okay? And somebody says, well, you don't want, you only want 5 customers, let's say. You don't want 20 customers. You don't want 100 customers. You don't want 1,000 customers. How does that sound? That doesn't sound right. You want as many customers that can come through that door and buy your product. That's what you want. So let's go back to what business is again. Sorry, I kind of got...
Hold on at one point, Patricia, because I might have go off on that. You know, that'll get you.
I know. She kind of acquiesced when I gave that illustration, but yeah, it's like you don't you want customers?
Yeah, I'm about to go off about that because so, you know, I know we think the same way too as far as that, you know. And this is another thing too, when you're building relationships too with like-minded people, it should be able to be. You should be able to talk about money like you talk about a sports game or you talk about a relationship or whatever. Kiyosaki mentioned that too, and he stays away from people like that. You know, even friends or family. You know, like he mentioned too. I know his past Rich Dad books. I remember he's like, you know, it's great going to an event or. Let's say there were people that he knew that had, rich people that he knew and their kids. He can talk freely about money.
Yeah, it's like taboo or money is taboo and they don't want to talk about it. It's like religion. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. You know, I mean, you don't want to talk about God. I mean, the creator of yourself. I mean, hey, people are like that. They're strange, but you want to talk about things that interest you and you have a passion for. And again, money is not the root of evil. It's the love. You and I, we've talked about this before. It's the love of money. If you're $1 million friend of mine, I'm going to go kill you and rob you and steal from you. That is evil. That's when money becomes evil. Your thoughts about money are evil. Exactly. But money pays the bills. Excuse me.
It's the act. It's not money itself, and that's the thing people miss out on. Exactly. You know, people miss that. People miss out on that big time because you know this. We talk about this all the time. It's easy to counter that easily. I can go every time, and I can always give you a jab about that. As far as okay, let's talk about the parable of the talent, because talent, by the way, in that time was a form of money. I was at church a couple months ago when I was on the All-Star weekend, and it's interesting too when we had our communion. I think today's time, I'm not correct about this. You don't quote me on this. If I heard him correctly, he said talent today, one talent in today's American dollars, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's $136,000, by the way. So when the master had given, his service as far as talents to go out there and just go and, pretty much expand that, go reinvest it. And then when a person who just had the one and just buried it, come on now, that's really being selfish. Because I mean, as far as like, when you have a lot of money, you want to do the best you can to help out other people, best way, shape, or form, point blank. People forget about that. And again, going back to that thinking small mentality, I had a few months ago too when I was in season, one teammate who was talking about he wanted to get ready to go to different training camps for NFL. I had one teammate look at me like, man, this guy's talking about he wants to go to NFL training camp. I'm thinking, okay, why not? Why not? I almost went off of my teammate, the one I was thinking small about that. I almost completely went off because I'm not a fan of somebody who thinks small or whatever. Like, why in the world should he settle for semi-pro where he can do better for his life? It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. I almost completely erupted. I cannot stand somebody who thinks small. I don't care if it's family or close friends. And you can't. No, I'm not playing down to your small level of thinking because you choose to just be cynical and just small-minded and negative. I can't stand it either.
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly. It's not progressive,
Yeah.
It's not.
And it's sad. Really, anybody, my family right now, as far as I can talk, as far as like money, just general slowly, is my brother. It's funny because we're opposites. My brother, he understands as far as like, as far as like the things you want to do today, you gotta have it.
Well, maybe it goes back to that fear factor. They're afraid if they make it big, or they're afraid if this happens, or they're afraid of what? We know that money can't solve everything. Like if you have cancer, that's not going to cure it. If you have something that is,
well, I can't give you the treatment for it. Let's be real.
You still may die, but at least it'll make you comfortable. And yes.
People forget about little stuff like that, though. I'm ready for a battle with somebody. This will make them feel like, dang, he is right. It's like, yeah, and like maybe because you're struggling, you're stressed, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to go to work. Maybe because maybe you have the money so you can have the options. That's the thing. A lot of people, successful people, I remember I saw a quote from Grant Cardone, another entrepreneur. More money, more options. Duh. Duh. Think about it. If you rather have a $20 bill, if you have more options, or a $10 bill. Mm-hmm. More options with the more you have. This is being real now, you know. So yeah, I know we might have to go. We might have to go talk about that topic later on.
Yeah, too, yeah. Well, but you know what? You just leave them to their small-minded business or thinking, and then what do? We are entrepreneurs. We have an obligation to prove them wrong. You know, I mean, we're not going to harp on it. We do it not by saying something, but we do it by our actions, and we prove them wrong that way. So, for instance, I have another mentor. And I said, I would be happy making $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. Now, for the average person, that's a good salary, but then not after taxes. You know, you only get, what, $300 and something to take home. That's nothing. Okay. So, yep. But I said to myself, I'm thinking small first, because I said I didn't want to think too big, because I want to have myself grow. Now, do I have a goal of making more money? Of course. But, you know, we can have marks, meaning we have a timeline. And on the timeline, say we go for $100 a week. Then the next time we grow $500 a week once we've reached the $100. Then we go again, and it might be 1,000, and then 1,500, and then 2,000. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with setting those goals. So if it starts off small, that's fine. But then when you get higher, the higher goal that looks unreachable, if you're always thinking that, oh, I can make $1 million a week, if you're always saying to yourself that that would never happen, what's most likely to happen? It may never happen, because you've already set your mind to think negative, that this may not happen. You find excuses, you find fears, you find all kinds of things to not let it happen. Who hasn't been there? Who hasn't done that, right? But we think of the growth as of a child. You got a baby who's an infant. Then you have a toddler, then you have a child, you get a teenager, and then you have an adult, right? And then, of course, we don't want to mention the growing old stages, but you have stages. You have growth periods. And now what if the mom says, well, I'm going to have a baby. Well, I'm sure moms do think this way, you know, oh, my baby is so small and so little. And I wish, you know, when they start growing, they say, oh, I wish he was still a baby, you know, and that's a nice feeling. But we know that's impossible. Babies grow up, babies grow. And now as a parent, you have to nurture them to give them the best life possible as they're growing through these different stages, so that they can become the best human being ever in your life, in their lives, and the people that they're going to touch and surround. So when I think about this, we also think about money. When you have money, how can you help somebody else? I'm sorry, if you don't have money, how can you help someone else? You cannot, because you're too busy trying to help yourself. And if you have money, that's why there's I can always say this word wrong because I need to see the word, but philanthropical organizations or societies. Look at Bill Gates and you know, even Mark Zuckerberg. They have set up colleges for, at least he has, for computer science or computers. They can help people. They can give away computers to schools that need them. They can go to South Africa, or they can go to African countries or poor countries, and they can help them to develop. Because if you help other people, as we know as entrepreneurs, they can help you. So it's a win-win situation. Let's get back to this definitions of the 4 types of business relationships. Okay, this is by Chris Steinledge. Okay, so the first one, it says, what if you could increase your odds of living a few extra years and increase the odds of building a stronger bottom line for your business? Would you want to do it? What if you already had all the necessary tools and equipment to make this a reality? Would you start using it? So it says, in fact, you might already be doing so. There are very few businesses that don't include some level of relationship building. It might be your employees, your coworkers, the vendors or customers, but it's often superficial. It says, in the working world, it is common to hear people reference their relationship with someone as a business relationship. I guess that term is used to establish a clear boundary between two individuals. Maybe it is the acceptable way to say, if it wasn't for your business, you really don't matter much to me. See, and that's not very good. So we don't want to
I got another point
like that, huh?
I'm about to go off on that too. That's another mindset problem
Yes,
as far as
exactly.
corporate world.
Exactly.
That's really saying I don't choose to get the chance to know anybody here at work. I'm here just to work. And really, or really, that's really kind of what the impression I'm getting. It's like I'm just here just to work. I'm not here to make any friends here. First people at work because of that dog eat dog mentality in the corporate world. It really stinks. You remember Wallace misses the science of getting rich. You know, as far as go more so to the creative world instead of the competitive world. I'm paraphrasing that. As far as it's pretty much basically implied it's more for anybody who chooses to just be more creative than competing and just kind of step on the other person trying to get up the corporate ladder.
Right.
And that kind of mentality as far as like, oh, I don't choose this to know anybody. That's just the kind of the impression I'm getting. I could be wrong. I can't stand that mentality because they basically say I don't choose to know anybody. I choose to stay in my small world. Okay, that's fine. But as Jim Rome said, okay, oh, they got these bills going to work for me. I just want to just worry about myself. That's great, but that's where it doesn't mean it doesn't lead to greatness. As far as what Zig said, you can help enough people get what they want. You have, you can help enough. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want.
Exactly.
To just be of value to that person, and that's really choosing to think small with that mentality right there.
Right. Exactly. So let me finish this. It says, what if there were an opportunity in some of the business relationships to not only help others, but improve your own well-being in the process? So that's what you just said, Andre, right? You know, we already as entrepreneurs know that. Okay. It's a basic principle, basically, because without other people, would you have a business?
Nope.
No. Not at all. There you go. Not at all. So research has determined there are at least 4 types of relationships that produce these results: social support, mentoring, service of others, and role models. You've probably heard of most, if not all, of these types of relationships before, but have you ever overtly viewed all 4 of them as a way to improve your own well-being and well-being of your business, including that of your employees and customers? It requires moving beyond a business relationship and connecting in new ways. So using these relationships in business, first of all, you have social support. That's the first one. This means both seeking and providing support to another person. As a business owner or leader that is seeking, focus on engaging with someone you can trust, someone who is interested in your well-being. A good way to define this person is normally our conversations improve the situation, not hinder it. A peer advisory group may be a good option to consider for social support. In terms of employees, which we don't have employees or coworkers, but we have customers, you are more likely to be providing social support, and often the main requirement is simply being present. Like I said, being present could be your blog post, your emails, your live videos, your posting on social media on a regular basis so they get to know, like, and trust you, right? And it says, and the most important component of that is just listening. How often have we heard that, Andre? So it says, beware of getting into a one upmanship conversation. How many people try to dominate the conversation and they won't let you speak and they're not listening to what you said? You think you got it. You think you got it bad. It says, this is what happened to me, can actually amp up the stress, which is not the intent. But if someone has something they need to get off their chest, focus on listening and only give advice if you are well informed on the subject. And mentoring. Mentoring is a big thing. We do that a lot in the entrepreneurial journey that we have, because we just mentioned there's a lot of, there are two types of, well, there's many types of people that personalities that we meet. There's people who are in our business who already know how to do online marketing and have their own businesses, or entrepreneurs. And then there's people who are newbies, like we were, or like I was. And so you can offer that. And if you do, it says this is a great win-win relationship. As a mentor, you usually are teaching on a competency you already are familiar with. And it is proven that teaching is most effective way to become even more proficient on the subject. Because as you're learning something and as you're teaching it, it's embedded in you as a person, right? So, and as many times as you teach on that subject, it's going to be definitely embedded into your heart and your mind, that it'll make you a better person, that you can be able to teach your mentees, as they say. The mentees win because they are increasing their aptitude via the positive advice and support of the mentor. Studies show that the number one result of mentorship is the increase of self-confidence. Now, how many people, were you self-confident, Andre, when you got online? Were you confident, even just mentoring somebody to do a video, getting them online to do a video? Is that a hard thing, or is that an easy thing for people to do?
I had no idea what the heck I was doing when I first started.
Like I said, me either. So, I mean, I bet if I look back at one of your first videos and you look back at one of my first videos that we've done, you know, I get so many adulations from people that say, Patricia, your videos are so good. How do you do that? Or what do you do? Or whatever. So I just go for it. I just go for it from my heart to say what I need to say. I think I've mentioned this before on one of our lives. I had to do a script one day because I wanted to get it right for what we were saying and what we were advertising. I went by the script. I must have done the video 10 times, you know, cut, you know, and filmed it again. Okay, roll the camera, action, cut, you know, because I mean, I'm doing it myself. I'm filming myself from my phone. I can't tell you how many times I had to stop. I threw the paper away because, of course, I had memorized most of it by now, but I keep flubbing it up because I kept looking at the paper and looking at the paper and looking at word for word of what I have to say. I cut the camera off. I did a few dry runs, meaning I wasn't filming myself, and I just said what I said, and I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm just going to go for it. And I went for it, and that one take that I did was perfect. You know, I said it in my own words. So a lot of people, they think they have to be like a robot when it comes to doing videos. So they get afraid. But the more and more you do things and you coach them, just say, go for it. And don't be afraid of what you look like or anything like that, you know. So mentoring is very important to keep that relationship going. There's a lot of MIAs, you know, entrepreneurs that are missing in action, or I should say uplines that are missing in action. So you could fill that role if somebody is looking. I've had so many people contact me, and you probably too, Andre, about my mentor. I mean, my mentor and my upline quit the business, or they're no longer here. Can you help me? I think because they've been seeing my posts all the time. They were seeing my videos. They're seeing my interesting posts. So they want to join me. They want to know what I'm doing. So that goes back to attraction marketing as well.
I gotta mention about that too, because it's something that I can't stand as well, as far as people talking about, oh, my sponsor left me. Last time I remember when, you know, somebody, the sponsor, I already mentioned earlier, as far as, you know, my sponsor had left like real soon when I first got into the company I'm part of. But last time I remember, your sponsor and your why are completely different. So I don't know why you want to. I don't know why you make it seem like that was their purpose. Your purpose was theirs, particularly just because you left. I mean, yes, you can meet people from sideline, like you just mentioned, Patricia, as well. But I don't like that type of mentality. And it's really kind of an excuse, because I mean, that really just kind of shows how strong your purpose is. As far as like, okay, your sponsor left, like as soon as you got in, like, okay, you do whatever it takes. Go try to find somebody who's still part of your company. That's what I'm trying to apply
well,
here.
that's the thing that we had. One good thing about our company is we had groups. We had groups, and sometimes at the beginning, I know we joined every group that there was, even though we were not under that team or under that leader, we could join the different groups. Some people knew that, some people didn't know that, but my mentor happened to know that. And she was always, you know her, you met her at one of the events. She was always great. But then there was at one point where, okay, Patricia, you are not a child anymore. You need to find out and research and do this yourself. And if she didn't kind of like cut the ties to me, I mean, we're still friends. I'm not saying that was that case. And we still message each other. We're still wonderful friends. But there's a point when she had to say, she gave me the tools to be able to function on my own, put it that way, you know. So that's what people have to look for. And it's true, when they are first online, like we were, you do need that leadership. You do need your mentor to be there. But if they can't be, then that's why, again, events, when you go to an event, you can meet.
I was just about to say that.
You can meet with other people who are in the same industry, and then you build relationships there. And there's people that have all kinds of different skills that can help you. It's like, even when we always room with other people. Their skill sets may be different than yours. They may be lacking. They may be more advanced. But if you just get to know them, but if you stay isolated at home by yourself, not knowing anything or anybody, and then you blame the company for your failure, that's not fair. You know, that's not fair. So
I was just about to mention that too, because, you know, I know on top of, you're right, as far as the groups, that's huge as well. On top of my sponsor leaving too, within probably about a year and a half, my whole upline left. So I mean, again, I couldn't sit there and put the blame on them. You see what I'm saying? As far as like, well, that's where the whole point we've been talking about here, this whole point this evening, as far as getting a chance to know other people in your company on top of outside home-based business. Because again, like you just mentioned, Patricia, that will help you out as far as, okay, something along the way. Like, you know, we're not financially tied with each other. Even the people that we had in the past too, we're not financially tied. Even Julianne, we're not financially tied to each other. Even though we might be part of a big group, you know, as far as different big groups, but at the same time, we're not financially tied with each other. But the thing is, because we built that relationship. I know Julianne, I think, I kid you not, it was like a conversation like less than 30 seconds I made her a year ago. It was a year ago this month. And then I was like, you know what? Let me get chances to know her as far as that, her Facebook, messaging her, or whatever, just slowly to the process with her.
Yeah.
One thing I do remember, as far as, you know, listening to, when you get a chance to talk with somebody, you know, face to face or even online, as well as listening to certain, you know, words some people emphasize with, and she was real big into wanting to mastermind somebody. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's something I probably always remember when I first met with her. So that's another thing to keep in mind too, as far as, like you just mentioned, as far as, you know, having somebody who you might be a mentor or mentee to or whatever.
Yes.
As far as, you know, keep that in mind as well.
Yes. So the one thing, I don't know, did I read this part? It says the number one studies show that the number one, yeah, I did, about self-confidence. It says, when you're mentoring, the number one result of the mentorship is the increase in self-confidence. That could apply to both the mentor and the mentee. It says that is the number one result. And then we have two more to go. I'll be really brief on these. It says service of others, doing good deeds for others, acts of kindness, helping others, and even community projects. Those are all ways to serve others. There have been some great examples of how random acts of kindness trigger a succession of events. One recently in the news was a driver who paid the toll on the next person, who decided to pay for the next person too. Each recipient repeated the gesture for hours at the toll booth. So when we offer our services to our customers or the mentorship or whatever, that's what, people's kindness should rub off I can't talk, off on us, and that we want to help people, because once again, it goes back to that same old saying, if we can help enough people, they can help us. I'm not quoting that exactly right, but you just quoted it earlier. And it says a recent local example was this company called Black and Beachik hosting a huge recycling and shredding event on a Saturday in their parking lot. And it says this is also a type of relationship you can get the entire company and even customers involved in with some kind of recycling. It says that want to practice this more directly with coworker or employees. A client of ours occasionally puts an unexpected note of encouragement or thanks in employee mailboxes. And here's one way all can try. Next time you're driving, intentionally let someone go in front of you and let us know if you feel better or worse afterwards. I always do that. I hate road rage, all this stupidity that goes on. I mean, we're playing with our lives. So I'm always hospitable to other drivers, even if they, however they are. And you do feel good about doing that, because hopefully your act of kindness will rub off on them. And if they had a gun in their side, that they would not be using it. It's like, oh my God, people are ridiculous with that idiocy. But anyway, the very last thing is role model. Okay, this is the relationship of modeling after someone else to make yourself better. Someone you want to emulate. And as entrepreneurs, we're always learning from someone else. We're learning from the people on stage. We're learning from our mentor. We're learning from our upline. And like I said, if they're not there, well, we've got enough knowledge, or we've seen enough people, or we should know enough people in the world where they have left a positive impact in our lives. And some people don't have that. I have to say, some people have had bad life experiences. But those are the criminal elements. But I'm talking about people who want to find their way, and they love to see people be successful, and they want to emulate them. Look at all the rock stars. Look at all the movie stars. Look at all that. And a lot of young people, they follow these kind of people. They want to emulate them. They want to dress like them. They want to do something like them. But it says Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa were two individuals who inspired millions. What made them stand out as role models were the value systems they lived by. Mandela spent 27 years in prison because of what he believed in, and Mother Teresa dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor. So unfortunately, there are often people and companies viewed as role models who turn out to be anything but. But prior to its collapse, and we all know what happened to Enron, right, was viewed by many to be the model for a great company. If you want your business to be a role model for others, you first must look in the mirror and make sure you practice what you're projecting. So look at Zappos. It gives the example of Zappos. Zappos, I'm not sure the total business model. I did read about an article about it years ago, and I actually went to their website and read their mission statement. about what kind of company they are. I know they give away shoes free to, I think it's poor children or to poor countries or poor people that need, they do matching donations, that type of stuff. Don't quote me, you can look them up. But they seek out ways to help people. And it says few local companies that inspire you, or we should seek out. It says a few local companies that inspire us, and at their core, I bet you find some common denominators. Encourage your team to be role models, not only at work, but in the community. I trust you that your company will benefit from it. So those are the things here. I'll recap here. Social support. It means both seeking and providing support to another person. Mentoring. This is a great win-win relationship for the mentor and the mentee. Service of others, doing good deeds and others, acts of kindness, helping others, and even community projects. And role models. This is a relationship of modeling after someone else to make yourself better, right? And them too eventually, because if they are learning from you, hopefully your values and your morals will reach out and touch them, and they'll want to be like you and emulate what you're doing. So that's what I have. And so relationships, definitely business relationships, family relationships, friendship relationships, they're all important, but it's a little bit different in business. We're reaching out also to have a lifetime relationship with that person. And so it should be cultivated. It shouldn't be put by the wayside. And as we discussed, there's many ways to build that relationship.
Well, one thing to keep in mind too, after even saying all this so far, is going back to what Art Williams said, and you can go look at his "Just Do It" speech. As far as he gets to the list as far as talking about you just do it. But before that, he just mentioned real briefly. I thought I was ready to make the point the whole 20-minute video as far as just be good to people. When I heard him say that, I'm like, oh man, it's little stuff like that some people miss. They get to like the other stuff that people will quote, whatever. There's also a lot of stuff that it's like listen to something on the radio, but being played, and that's not really the main particular song that you might like, and you listen to the CD. My point is like that part of the video I thought made up the whole speech as far as this be good to people. Really, what we've been implying here so far is talking about this, when it comes to relationships. So, being good to people doesn't mean you're going to try to manipulate them or any way or whatever. I'm trying to get them to see things in the way that you want. This is easier for them. You mentioned simple stuff as far as, just listening to something. If it's online, really, but I mean, listen, you basically taking the feedback as far as if you ask a question or something, you have a survey, and it's, just take the feedback and just pay attention to that as far as what, the people that are wanting to know who you are want. That's really what it comes down to. Again, we mentioned earlier too, as far as like be more interested than interesting, as well. Something Dale Carnegie has mentioned several times so far, and how to influence and influence people. So this little stuff like that, people need to keep in mind too. Obviously when it comes to building relationships, that's again, you don't know how far it's going to take you down the road when you build them. Yes, we know where it could go as far as you destroy relationships in any way. We know that. That's the easy way. We didn't want to talk about it. That's too easy.
Yeah.
Too easy, and it could be expensive at times. And not just talking about, like Patricia mentioned earlier, not just talking about marriages or whatever. It could be expensive in other areas as well. But the point is, that's why we wanted to talk about this simple ways to help you, build relationships inside of business and outside business. Just be good to people in general. Really what we're implying to. And then when you're working on yourself so much, you can't help but, attracting the people that want to build a relationship with you.
Yes.
That's one thing I know. Personally, I chose to do that because I'm thinking, okay, a lot of successful people I've been following to, they work more on themselves than they do in the business or anything else. Okay, so that means for me that's 90 minutes, and that's really ain't crap to a lot of successful people. When I've heard like take time to read at least 3 hours a day, and that's minimum daily. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about 90 minutes a day, I'm talking about listening to audios, reading daily, stuff like that. As far as just continue this to work on myself, and then again, you're going to attract those type of people, whatever, that want to build a relationship with you. So keep that in mind as well. And then when we mentioned earlier too, who knows, you might be able to meet somebody as far as relationship, as far as marriages or whatever too. That can also happen too, because you seriously worked on yourself more than anything. So that's a possibility. Disclaimer about that is below, or disclaimer about anything we've been mentioning is below here. So so whether it be business disclaimer or relationship disclaimers or whatever, there's a below here as well. So I was not going to guarantee you anything about that. Mind, because that's the possibility of what could happen. In all honesty. So again, you got back from what we've been sharing here so far. Let's say comment below. Look to that right too, because you see a little Facebook group as well. Go comment within that and let us know if you gotten back from what we have shared here this evening so far. And also, you want to follow us at Mission Running. See that green link? It says yes, let me in. Go ahead, click on that, and get a chance to see what we're all about. So see how we basically practice what we preach. Something she did imply too is no different from what Jim Rose said many years ago. Study, practice, and teach, and we get just as much as far as doing our best to help share this value, share information out doing these weekly than anything. That's the main thing. I know Patricia did mention that so far as well. So it's something that happens when you just choose to again work on yourself, point blank. So we get people people who have, and they continue with to keep on to see what we are all about, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So hopefully you have gotten value for what we have shared here so far today.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, come and build a relationship with us, and we'll be your mentors. We'll help you. The link, wherever you saw this link, if it's you saw it on my site and my page, it's me that you would join. If you see Andre, if you saw it on whatever, or he had it, you're going to be joining him. Okay, so come and build a relationship with us, and we'll help you. We'll mentor you. We will give you tools that you could build your own business here online.
Yep. Point blank. Again, just let us know if if anything as far as you got value for what we have shared here so far today. So with that being said, we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Next week on Friday. Peace.